Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to talk about Indiana Jones, and I want to prove to you, I'm going to try to prove to you, I'm going to prevent evidence that the colloquial information you've been given, that I've heard this from Ginny D, I've heard this from Bob Worldbuilder, I've heard this from so many people, and it's so wrong, and literally the opposite is true. So you'll find hundreds. Seth Skorkow, you could, I'm pretty sure Professor Dungeon Master said this. The Dungeon Dudes, right? It's a game. As long as everybody at the table is having fun, you're doing it right. That is wrong sandwich, cut with a wrong knife, lots of wrong sauce on it, and slices of wrong meat. Wrong, wrong, wrong. If everyone at your table is having fun, you are doing it wrong. Indiana Jones, in my humble opinion, is proof of this. The series. Okay, so I am preparing for Indiana Jones 5, Indiana, and I am extremely excited about this blockbuster release, right? So here's what it proved, okay? So basically, I'm watching through the movies, and I'm in the third movie, The Last Crusade, and there is a line where there is a scene where Indiana Jones has gotten his father's Grail diary, and he's walking through a crowd of Nazis. And there are the Nazi symbols on red flags everywhere. And I was not having fun. Two scenes before, Indiana Jones had, punched one of these Nazis, and they had fallen out of the blimp onto a pile of luggage, right? And in a ticket holder's uniform, Indiana says, no ticket, and everybody pulls out. Lots of fun there, right? But now we're in a scene that I'm not having any fun. I don't like seeing 1,000 Nazis burning a book. Why is that there? Why is this in my adventure show, right? I'll tell you why this is an adventure show. Because Steven Spielberg is not about japering and quipping. He didn't want to tell a story for jokes. He didn't want to tell a story for fun. The Indiana Jones movies are to remind you that there's a people on this earth where there are two groups of people, right? There are Nazis, and then there are the Nazis' victims. A special group of people, well beloved by God, well beloved by evangelical Christians, right? And the Nazis said, we are going to wipe them off the face of the earth. And it's sitting right in the middle of the Indiana Jones film, which is action, adventure, and comedy. But the point is, Steven Spielberg went to tell a story. He wasn't going to do japering and quipping, right? And what is japering and quipping? Like, Dazed and Confused. It's a movie that was made for fun. Nothing to be learned there. It's junk. It's chaff that can blow away in the wind. Nobody cares, right? But like the Indiana Jones movie, we're getting number 5. Hundreds of millions of dollars are going to be spent to tell this story. And when you sit down at the table, when you sit down at your Dungeons & Dragons table, you have a choice. You can make sure everybody has fun, and you could japer and you could quip, and your story, you could japer and you could quip. You could accomplish zero story because everybody had fun, and you can make sure that everybody's comfortable at every single, literally, we have tables who are making sure that no one's uncomfortable at the table. Bring it. Bring the uncomfort, right? Bring the lesson. Bring the beauty, bring the art. When you sit at the Dungeons & Dragons table, you have a choice. You can japer and you can quip and you can make sure everybody has fun and no one is uncomfortable. Or you can tell a real story. You can tell a story that contains beauty and truth. And people at the table will not have fun. They will be asked to look at themselves. They will be asked to look at humanity. And there will be, and as you spark that rock, there will be sparks of truth. There will be sparks of beauty. When you spark the story rocks, the math rocks, and there will be sparks of joy. Not fun, joy. Okay? And this is the point, right? There are parts of the Indiana Jones series where I'm having no fun, right? And so what I'm saying is, if everybody at your table is having fun, you failed at Dungeons & Dragons. You have a choice. You can sit down and you can japer and you can quip, and everybody can have fun, and no one is uncomfortable, and you accomplish nothing, and everything you did at the table will blow away in chaff. Or you can find the wheat. You can find what feeds the soul. True stories, beauty, truth, and sparks of joy. Nothing is useless and worthless as fun, right? We have a community who is literally telling people, right? Make sure no one's uncomfortable at your table. Use these safety tools to make sure that things... I'm not comfortable with Nazis. I didn't want to see Nazis, right? But I wanted to see Indiana Jones, and Steven Spielberg said, no safety tools here. Look on the terror of this world. Oh, and here's a spark of joy because I'm telling a story. A story. And story contains truth and beauty and sparks of joy. You have a choice. Sit at the table and do something real, or japer and quip the way you were told by Ginny D and the Dungeon Dudes and Bob Worldbuilder, people who are laboring to make sure no one at your table ever grows, changes, or learns. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.